believe I'm saying this, but I am getting so close to the 100 mark in terms of how many self-tapes I've created this year. That is absolutely bananas to me, especially considering my humble beginnings. Y'all, truly, we have come so far. In today's video, I'm going to show you the very setup that I use to create all of my self-tapes. So let's get into it. So first things first, I use my phone to record the majority of my self-tapes. I have an iPhone 15. Oh God, what number are we even on? I have to actually look it up because I don't know. Anyway, to record my self-tapes, I use my iPhone. I do have a camera. I do not have the energy to use my camera to record my self-tapes. I probably could, but I use my camera primarily for content creation. I'm filming this video with my camera. Some of the B-roll will be shot with my phone just so that I can have multiple angles, but I very, very rarely, I can't even think of a self-tape I use my camera for. For self-tapes, I really want to be able to edit them quickly. If I'm doing something on my camera, that means I'm going to probably be editing in Final Cut or some computer program, whereas the majority of my self-tapes, I just edit them on my phone, and I like that because of the volume of self-tapes that I'm doing. It's just easier for me to record them on my phone and then to edit them on my phone. But if recording on the camera is your thing, listen, go be great, you can do that, but for me, it's me and my iPhone. The second piece of equipment that is really important is this cell phone holder. Now this is made by Joby. I personally love it because I use it for both self-tapes and content creation. When it's in self-tape mode, it looks like this so that it can hold my phone horizontally. And I love this because you can then turn it to hold your phone vertically when I'm doing content creation. Self-tape should never be shot vertically unless of course you're doing like a full body slate, but even then you can sometimes achieve that horizontally. Self-tapes are supposed to be shot horizontally, so it's always in this mode when I'm creating the self-tape. This was roughly $35. I got it from Best Buy. Literally my favorite cell phone holder because I don't have to take my phone case off every time I want to record a self-tape, and it holds my cell phone case very securely in here. And just to show you up close, right? So if you look at the back, this part right here, you screw that and tighten that and it will hold your phone really securely. Don't nobody have time for this cell phone to be falling on the ground. So this right here, a 1500 out of 10, like literally amazing. Now this is a tripod. This is a tripod I've had for a long time. I don't use this for self-tapes, but if I am traveling and I don't feel like bringing my big tripod, I will pack something like this and hope for the best in terms of stacking things on books. But I use a full-size tripod. I purchased this tripod in 2013. I think at the time I paid like 70 bucks for it, and I have had it ever since. I've never had issues with it. I did lose a piece of it, top piece that connects your phone or your camera. I lost that, but I was able to easily replace that from one trip to B&H. And so I am not mad at my tripod at all. It is a Manfrotto tripod. I'm not even sure if they make this one anymore, but I will link some comparable ones in the description box. This is what I use for every single self-tape and for all of my content creation, my ride or die. I can never lose this tripod. It's been with me for so long. We now have an emotional connection. Next is my self-tape backdrop and its stand. So this is the stand. All right, I had to change my camera angle so you can see the top of it, but this is my backdrop stand. It is absolutely perfect for me. Now I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I've had it for a while, so it kind of is a little, but it's okay, it works. And what I do is I take my backdrop and I attach it to the stand. Some people just put their backdrops on a wall and stack their backdrop on books. That totally works, but I prefer to have the stand because it is a little bit more reliable in terms of it's not gonna move on me unless of course I bump into it, which that happens all of the time, but I prefer to put it on a stand. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. Okay, I don't know if you noticed when I clipped this side, this was kind of leaning a little bit. It's because it wasn't fully tight, but now she's good to go. So this is what it looks like when I'm taping in front of the backdrop. I always bring my cell phone in so that you get rid of all the top and the sides and everything, and it just looks like me in front of the backdrop. But this is pretty much my backdrop setup. The other side of this is green if I ever want to use that, but I primarily use blue. I think in the future I am going to start looking into paint because I would like to paint this wall in my office, and I might just use the wall instead of using this blue. This blue is great. I love how it looks. looks, but I feel like everyone is doing self-tapes in front of this color and I want my self-tapes to stand out a bit, so I might go teal. We might go lavender. I don't know, I need to think about it, but I might paint this wall and then have that be the background for my self-tape. So we'll see. If you need help on learning how to fold this backdrop, definitely click on the card above to learn how to fold it, because y'all, I have almost lost a few teeth trying to fold this thing. I have a tutorial that will teach you how to easily fold it in about 5 seconds or less. Okay, quickly, just to show you how it would look if I was self-taping with this exact setup, I'm gonna adjust a few things. All right, I hope I'm getting this. There are bright lights in my face so I can't see as clearly, but this is in general what my self-tape, you know, kind of setup looks like if I were to actually be recording. It looks a little bit different just because I normally use my phone, and right now I'm using my camera and I have a good lens on my camera, but this is what I'm normally going for. I want to make sure that I'm getting from like mid bicep-ish to about, you know, just an inch above my head. I would adjust this slightly so that it's more like that, but in general this is my setup and she's cute, right? Let's show the people how we slate. Hello, my name is Kaisha Huguley. I'm 5'5", I'm based in New York City, and I am auditioning for the role of blank in Blank the Musical. Okay, just to be clear, I would never do that, but here we go. All right, y'all, I have 2 things left. Next is lighting. I use a ring light to record all of my self-tapes. I actually don't use the lighting setup I have right now. I have a 3-point lighting setup behind this camera, but I don't use this to do my self-tapes. I will be using this setup for my self-tapes this week just because it's already up, but I do not set up all of these lights for my self-tapes, mainly because I just don't have the time, and the goal for my self-tape is not to create a little mini production. The goal of my self-tape is to, well, be seen, to be heard, and so lighting is important, right? But I just can't. With the amount of self-tapes that I do each week, I would not have time to set these up all the time, and they can't stay up because they can't just be in my office like this all the time. So I use a ring light for my self-tapes, and some, like this week, like I said, I'm getting fancy, so I'm going to be using these lights that I have because they are already up. But that's not the norm, honey. It's not the norm. This office has some pretty good natural light, and there have been times where I've done natural light instead of my ring light, but the majority of the time I'm doing the ring light and we're calling it a day. I don't currently use a mic on my iPhone. I've seen some people doing that. I'm thinking about adding that just because I do think that that would help with the sound, especially living in New York City where there are constant sirens and motorcycles and people screaming. Like, I just need, you know, that extra little to help the voice be heard when I'm singing and acting and doing all of the things. So I am considering getting a mic. I have a Rode mic on top of my camera right now, and I'm thinking about getting the little baby Rode mic to attach to my iPhone. So that is one thing I will be adding. In terms of editing, I use an app called InShot. I use it to edit all of my self-tapes and most of my short form video content because it's on my phone, it's quick, it's accessible. I think the app was something like $3.99. I can't remember, but once you make the one purchase, it's yours forever, I'm pretty sure. And so InShot is what I use all the time. I literally highly recommend it. But if you have an Apple like laptop, MacBook, whatever, I would highly recommend using iMovie if it's something you already have, or if you have Final Cut and you've invested in that software, use that. Or if you're using Adobe Premiere Pro out here, then go off then. Go off. I love that for you. I almost forgot. Another key piece of equipment for me is this Bluetooth speaker. This one is by Bose, and I use it for all of my musical self-tapes. All right, y'all, that is my self-tape setup. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm actually not taking any of this down because I have 8 self-tapes due before the end of this week, and today is Tuesday. Send help. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And make sure you leave a comment below and let me know what you're working on. Are you creating self-tapes right now? What are you auditioning for? Tell me all the tea in the comments. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye!